Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be building a front and back end live web chat app. We're going to be containerizing it and hosting it so others can have a look at it. If you want to code along, excellent. If not, you can probably watch and learn something. We're going to be using Express and JSON web tokens for authorization and authentication. We're going to be using Better SQLite 3 for the database, and Socket.io. So we're going to start with our front end. Create our index.html. This will be our registration page. Login, chat, and just a script that we will need for the chat. Let's start with the login here. Generate boilerplate. Call this login. And we can copy this register. We can copy this over to the register because these will be essentially the same forms. Grab a label for our username. Create an input field for the username. Type will be text. If I can type it. And then our username. Another label. Whoops. This will be for our password. Nope. Type password. It's not text because password has those characters. You want to hide the password when they're typing it in. And a placeholder. Password. Create a button. And I'm thinking this should have been repped in a div. Alright, save it. And start it up. There we go. Beautiful. Not really. Stylish. Content center and line items center. Trying to get everything in the middle there. There we go. We'll grab our container. Set the width 200 pixels, the height 250 pixels. Padding, give it 10. Margin top 10 pixels. Let's set the display to flex, and the flex direction to column. Give it a background color. Alright, let's see. Give it log in. Let's grab the labels and adjust those a little bit. Password and the label for the username. and margin top. It's the same with our button. Okay, let's give it a height of 25 pixels. Background color. Let's just select any value for right now. 0, 0, 0. There we go. Now look at this. Select a color. Border. None. Grab the input. Should you type it then? No. Yeah. Sorry. Type. Let's try that. Input, and then we have a type for the password. Okay, set into my height. There we go. Now let's center the login a little bit. Just call H2. Display flex, justify content center. Okay. Button hover. Background color. Maybe transparent. Border. I'll copy this here. 2 pixels solid. Alright. Now let's do one more thing. Let's give the container a box shadow. Looks nice. Box shadow. We'll do 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 20 pixels, and then we'll paste our value. Go back over here. We'll make it RGBA. Make it alpha. Let's do 0.6. Oop. I got it. Close it. Okay. Yeah, it looks okay. It'll do. See how it looks if I just expand the height a little bit. Kind of looks a little more uniform. Alright, perfect. Now I'm just going to copy all this code here. And actually, we just up here put it in our index. Save it. And change some of these values here. Register and login. Very good. Now we need a chat. Let's get rid of some of the components we don't need. Let's chat. We need a container. We don't need a login. We don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, we want an input. The ID, we'll call it a message. Placeholder, we'll type message. Alright. This will be a send button on our chat. Alright. Let's go up. We don't have an H2 element. still have button. Okay. Don't have a label. A container, let's call that chat box. And let's bring these elements back in. That one by itself. Okay, let's see, let's make the width 500, and the height we'll do 300. Let's change that back to chat box. There we go. Starting to look better. If I got rid of the align items. No. Button width 100 pixels. There you go. Looking like a chat window. Let's actually add that margin top back to it. Alright. Looks like a chat window to me. Let's proceed onward now that we have our front end kind of designed. Let's start with the back end. And I'm going to throw it all in here. Let's close that for now. We'll come back to that script. That is important. We'll need that for our socket IO. Now, let's initialize a package. Alright, and now we will import our dependencies. I just full screen this. We don't need those windows right yet. Alright, we are going to use, let's install first our saved, our dependency. Our dev dependency here, nodemon. Alright, now we need express, cores, we need bcrypt, jsonwebtokens, or jsonwebtoken singular. We'll need .env for our secrets, and we'll need better SQLite 3. We'll need socket IO. Start importing these ones. If I need more, I'm sure I'll realize it and import them as I need them. So let's start first with our, let's get out of our front end. We don't want to create any file in there. Create a .env, open our package. I'll set our type to module. And so dev chat, and this will start our nodemon, our server, and this will be a module. There you go. Let's save that and close out of there. We need an access token, and this will be our JSON web token. It's what it verifies against the token, the username we send. So we'll start node. We'll require crypto, random bytes, toString, and the string will be hex. Control-C twice. We'll copy this here. And save. And I'm not going to be saving or storing a refresh token in here. I usually will do that in the database, but I'm not going to be doing that for this lesson either. This is just a simple chat client, and I don't really want to refresh the tokens. I want to log out after like 10 minutes. We will create auth, and this will be the bcrypt authentication. We'll I can create the middleware in here too, I guess. Encrypt. I'll export async function hash to pass. Fix the password. We'll await bcrypt hash, and then we pass the password in and the salt. We'll return it. We will copy this function and just edit this one up. They essentially almost are the same identical functions. There we go. That one's essentially done. We'll create our database schema. Users database. Form a database command in here. Oops, I need an integer. Primary key will auto increment. The username, text, it'll be unique. The password will be text. Null, no comma. This is supposed to be parenthesis. Okay. We'll export default database. So that's our database and our authentication taken care of. So we'll create a server. We'll import express from express. Import.env or secrets. Oops. There we go. From. Now we'll import cores. We need server from socket.io. We need create server from HTTP, import path from path. It's a lot of imports. Import check hash and hash pass from our auth. Import file URL to path from URL. Okay. Import our .config. We will instantiate our app as Express. We will call this a chat server. Okay, it'll be create server app. And pass in chat server. And cores. Origin. Alright, we need path equals file URL to path, or that might be the directory, my bad. I need a directory as well. Directory equals path dot their name, path dot join. Right, yeah, so file URL to path. No, I'm a class. File. File. Okay, hopefully, hopefully I did that right. We'll need our JSON handler. Use cores. Alright, now let's go down, chat server, let's try to run it. Run 4000, hopefully I don't error. Passport here, save it. npm run dev chat, and we crashed. Oh, we got. Ooh, I knew that was wrong. Cannot access file. Have a look at this for a second. I know. Chat. Join. Like that. I need this. Oh, okay, we're running. There we go. I got it. Let's actually, let's say stop. Let's clear it. And rerun it. Alright. Now we need some endpoints. This will be the home page. Take a request and response. We will res.send file, and then path join will be directory front end, and this will be our index HTML. Let's do what the hell is that? It's called test HTTP. That's all we need. Alright, we're getting a response. And we are getting our HTML here. That's perfect. That's what we wanted. Alright, let's grab the other endpoints. That's the server. Okay, we need for chat. We need one for this chat, and then we need one for login. We need one verify to verify our web token. We need two more, I think. One to register and one to log in. And these aren't going to be gets, these are going to be posts. Alright. So this one's going to be easy. We'll just do over this dot send 200. We're just going to pass the middleware into there. Okay. So the login gets the login. The chat gets the chat. Now, let's import our database and watch it be generated. Here it comes. Boom, there it is. Alright. So registration endpoint. It takes the structure username and the password from the rec body. If no username or no password is given, we will return status 401 unauthorized. So you know at this point that they do have one sent. So we want to insert it into a database and hash the password. So this will be async since we are working with the bcrypt, or the helper function that we made for bcrypt. Const hash or await hash pass, and then we'll pass in the password. And we're actually going to wrap this in a try and catch block here in case there's an error. Send status 500. If at this point it's work, so it should work. So prepare, and then we want to insert the values. Insert into users username and the password values, and then stmt.run username and the hash, because we want to save the hash password. If everything's successful, we're going to send a status of 200 and send success, so we know that a registration was made. Save that, and we'll try that out in our endpoint test. Copy that. Oh, we just get rid of that. Or I just could have just edited it. Register. Content type will be application JSON. Okay, this is going to be our username and our password. I'll just say this one is just soft. And the password is Javascript. Alright, let's send a request. Oop, and we got a success, so we are registering correctly. Now let's make another one. Alright, the endpoint here for logging in. And then we'll do one more after this one. And this one will be a get. And it will be our verify. The authorization will be bearer and then our token that we'll get after logging in. So let's log in. We'll go to the server. Our login endpoint. We'll grab the same thing. We'll grab username and password from the rec body. Alright. If no username or no password is given, same status, 401, unauthorized. There we go. Now, once think of that, the first thing we want to do, we'll again wrap everything in a try and a catch block. Hash will equal the way we want to check the hash of the password against the password stored in the database. So we have to get our database, and we'll have to make this async to get rid of that await, that error there. We'll call it user record. DB prepare. Select everything from users where the username is equal to the username that was passed in. Alright, we will compare it with the user record password. Okay, here we go. If no user record, I'm trying to think if I should couple these together. I guess I could. If no user record or no hash status, we'll send a 403 forbidden. Alright, and otherwise, if it works out, they're able to hash, and they'll come through, and then we need to create an access token for them. So we'll create a user, we'll give it a name, and we'll pass in the username. Alright, then we need to create an access token, which is signed. Let's make sure I imported JWT. Doesn't look like I did. There you go. Import it. Alright, access token, JWT will assign the user, and we'll sign it with the process, the access token, and we'll give it an expiration time. Expires in, and then we'll I'm gonna give it a number of seconds here. Let's do 20 seconds so I can test to make sure that it is logging us out. And then we want to, if everything works out, we want to status, it's 200, and we want to reply with a JSON of an access token and a username. There we go. Let's save that. Let's try logging in. And I'm getting my access token. Getting my username. Let's add this, see if I'm verified. There we go, I'm getting OK. And we should eventually get a forbidden when we log out when the access token expires. So I'll keep sending this response. About 20 seconds. Oh, no, we won't. We won't get we won't get logged out because my bad. I am not passing in authentication middleware. So let me build that. Yeah. That would have been a neat trick if that did happen. Alright, so past. I don't know what that is. Please don't do what I just did. Can I make that thing come back? What even was that? That was the biggest fucking class thing I've ever seen. Alright, let's make the... Alright, now the authentication will be middleware, so I'll take a request, a response, and a next. Alright, we'll grab auth header from the authorization. So, alright, authorization. If no auth header is given, we'll return send status 401. Then our token will equal auth header split at the first, really maybe the second index, depending if you count 1 or 0. 0 is the first index. If no token, we'll return our res send status 403. Alright. Then if everything is good, we'll verify the token with the access token secret. And this verify will take in an error and a user and a callback function. If error is given, then we want to return send status. We'll do a 403 again, forbidden. Otherwise, direct user. This will become the user, and then we'll call next. And this is really good for validation and authenticating and authorizing people to using a certain endpoint. It kind of keeps the endpoint protected. There we go. So now I'm seeing that there. Make sure it's in there. So let's log in again and then check our endpoint. It should expire after 20 seconds. So let's copy that. We'll paste it. And we'll send our requests again. And wait for another 20 seconds. There we go, forbidden. Now we are ending our access tokens. That's exactly what we wanted. Alright, so it looks like the majority of our back end is now done. Now we just kind of have to connect the back and the front and use Socket.io to integrate live chat. So let's see what I'm going to do first. Go back into our server, look around, into our login, our registration. Looks like we got our files. Alright, let's add our listener. on a connection, send a socket, and socket on send message, send a message, and then we will emit chat message, the message. Okay, we'll save that. Now, let's go into our front end and start hooking it up. Okay, let's view. It's 4,000. Let's add a login. Actually, in case someone's already registered, they can just log right in. So it's equals, and we'll do login. There we go. Now center it. Alrighty, people just log right in. Okay. Now we'll just build the script right inside of it. Need to grab the form. Sure, it's called a register. That should not have been called login. Alright. Form, we'll add the event listener. We'll submit. We'll prevent default. And then we will call submit, which is right here. It'll be an async function. Alright, we will grab the username and the password. If no username or password are given, we will return a window alert, username and password required. Alright, after that we will create a data object, and we'll use the values username, but we need to grab the values from these guys, otherwise they're just going to be empty. There you go. The user inputted value. Password will be password. Excellent. Now we await a fetch, and we are going to fetch to register. The method we are using will be post. The headers, content type, application JSON, and the body JSON stringify our data object. Alright, if throws is not okay, we'll turn window alert, say there was a server issue. It's not probably gonna be pretty, but it'll work. Const data equals, we'll await the response. No, we don't need the response, we're not getting the response. Otherwise, if it does go through, then we went to location. We want to relocate to the login page. Alright, so let's try another account. Let's try logging in and see if it works. I'll call localhost 4000. There you go. Okay, cool. Logged in. We're registered. Now, we're not going to be able to log in yet. Let's build a script in here. Actually, I can probably copy a lot of the last script we did and paste it. Let's see. Log in. Oh, that was the next. That's where we're registered. A little too fast. A little too fast again. There we go. Let's copy it. Let's close index. Alright. In the form, we want to add an event listener. We want to submit a username and a password. Alright, we want to send a data object. We want to fetch the login endpoint. Send a username. Alright, now if everything is correct, then we'll await the JSON from the response, and then we will set item. We'll save our access token from data.access token, and then we'll save the username from data.username. Okay. And then we can redirect to the chat. Let's see if it works. That did not work, so let's have a look. Let's do it this way here. Okay. Yes. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I was just trying to return that, I think. All right. Well, now let's work on the chat endpoint. Where the endpoint works, it's script here. socket equals IO. Element by ID, chat box, element by ID. Let's go make sure that those are exactly what those are called. Chat and chat box, message. All right. Good. Save. Okay. Chat message data. We will send message and pass the data in. Okay, hang on. We need get item. We are access token and our username. Alright. We'll add new event listener for submit. Prevent default. And then we will grab the message. And create. Okay, we want to init send message, and we want to pass our username and our message. Okay, so it passes the message, and then we want to create a function send message that takes the message. Alright, and then we want to create an element. This will be P. Alright, then let's see. Element text content. Let's make a template little out of here. Well, this will be the message username and the message message value. We'll turn that to a string. Appends and sends the message. If the messages keep sending, overflow auto maybe. Alright, now we need to import them. Script first source. We'll do a socket IO JavaScript script is a first source. This will be a script. Alright, let's see if I can log in and not screw up. Oh, what was this one? It was just soft. And I'm not seeing anything yet. Okay, that's fine. We'll figure out what we're doing here. Oop, okay. That's fine here. Let's go over here. Server. Nope. Chat. Nope. Scripts. There we go. Let's try that. Still nothing. I don't get anything back here. Let's stop this line here. Oh, I see. I'm not appending it. Oh, that's so stupid. Was it right the whole time and I was just like not append child and then we'll append the element. Oh my god, I hope that wasn't I mean I kinda hope it was, but that would be stupid if it was something that easy. Alright, yeah, actually let's log it on both. This one will be bunny. This one will be soft. Okay, well I'm only seeing it on one. Okay. Let's fix that. So server and chat message. Oh, I owe it for that. I don't know if I have to relog in. Oh no, there it goes. Alright, okay, so that's working, but our tokens are still going, even though right now on the server we're creating an access token and it's expiring in 20 seconds, so we want to stop that. So for right now, let's go to our chat. Actually no, we'll go to the script that we're importing to the chat, and we'll make a function called authCheck. And let's see what we want to do. We want to maybe just async. Oh, we're not expecting anything. Const res equals await. We'll fetch the verified endpoint. Method we'll use get the headers. We are sending the authorization and the bearer of our token. All right. If the response is not okay, then local storage, remove item, our username, local storage, remove item, the access token, window location, ref. We'll go back to the login. the window alert. Your session has expired. Please log in again. Alright. And now we want to set an interval to call auth check. And we're going to call our auth check. We'll just do it every 10 seconds. For now, make sure it's 10,000. Alright, 10,000. Alright, we'll save that. Let's go to the login. Alright, we'll log on each of these. Hey! Hello. It's actually spam. Let's see what happens. Okay. We can scroll down. I wonder if I can make the auto scroll. But let's see if we get kicked off. We want to get logged out. There we go. There we go. That's it. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. So now we can register, we can chat, we can log in. And the last thing I want to do here, let's close that now that I know it's working, is let's extend the session time. We want to go down to our server. Let's extend this to 20 minutes. Let's save that. Alright. Let's stop running it. We know this shit works. Let's start creating some files. Nope. I'm going to create a get ignore. I'm going to create a docker ignore. And pass node modules in here. Our inf file. I'm going to pass our docker ignore and our docker file. Node modules, docker ignore, docker file. Let's create a docker file. All right. Oop, I didn't even get. Let's see. We want a work directory. We want to copy our package JSON. We want to run npm install only production. We want to copy our front end, copy, expose port 4000, and the command we want node server.js. Alright, we'll save this. We're gonna have to I don't want to get in it yet. Let's try building the Docker file first. Docker will build we'll call it WeChat latest. See if I get any errors. Alright, we got our image. Hopefully it runs in the container. Let's try docker run. Let's port 4000. I'm not going to do a volume. We don't need a designated server volume here. So rechat latest. Alright, let's check our Docker here. We've got our image. Our container is running. Wow, it didn't crash. That's good. Okay, so we are currently not running our server at all on this, so we can still go to our local host and it's running on our container. Go to 4000. We can do a new register. I guess I could pass the login and the password into here. That could have made it a bit more convenient. That's something to keep in mind. Log in, that's it. And that's the chat. So now we can push it for production. Let's deploy it. Let's go ahead and stop the container. We can go to GitHub, create a new repo. We'll call this one rechat. Create the repo. Okay, we can go ahead and delete the container. Actually, I don't think we need the container. Alright, everything is built nicely. So let's get init. There we go. Let's go through, make sure it's go to my git ignore. And the git ignore itself. Anything, actually, let's see, let's create a new folder. Alright, need to, actually, we can get rid of the server. Alright, the schema, the package, the front end. That's it. Alright, I think that's all the files. All the gray ones are the ones you're not committing. All the gray ones are the ones that are being committed. So that's good. We'll get add all. Wait, working, and then blah 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 blah. I left will be placed by next time Git touches it. Okay. Never seen that before. Pushing WeChat. Alright. Git. Branch main. Git remote. Add origin. Git at github.com. Or soft. And this will be a WeChat. Git remote. Oh, git push view origin main. Alright, let's refresh WeChat. Okay, I have my files pushed. Let's go to render. Log in. Alright, I'll add a new. Well, let's just do it that way. Let's There we go. Add the WeChat branch. We want main branch. We'll leave it the same. We'll select the free tier. In variables, we'll have to add that. We'll just do it for the file. Let's do projects, WeChat, env, add the variable. All right, and deploy. Oop. Let's see if it builds. All right, and it is now live. So let's copy the address. Close out of these. We'll open a new private window. All right, let's create an account. That's weird. The database persisted. Oh wow, that'd be neat. Oh, it did. Oh, I just learned something. There we go. And now we're able to live chat on a server. Thank you all for watching. You're welcome. That's more of a scream. Alright, you're welcome. There we go. You all have a great day. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time.